Hello everyone, this is Tapen Pratap Singh and I'm solution architect in Crow with having 7+ of year experience, and today we are going to discuss about new changes and removal of few things in the new release preview. So today our release preview agenda belongs to Suite script, new security enhancement, secret management, REST web services and SOAP web services. So we'll go with next slide for suite script. Alendo, next slide, please. Okay, so in new release preview, now we having a capability to debug our suite script 2.1 as we are doing with our legacy debugging with using Chrome debugger. So we don't require to feel the way we are doing currently the debugging with NetSuite debugger. So in this we are going to have debugging our server side script with Chrome debugger. Earlier we only have a capability to debug client side or browser based script into a Chrome debugger, but now we have a capability to do Chrome debugger with our server side script, which includes a user event script, schedule script and suitelet. Also, if you wanted to do some on demand debugging with suite script 2.1, you can do it via selecting a drop down in script debugger. So we will have a demo after completion of all these slides. I will show you the demo how we are going to do the debugging and other few demo as well. Next slide, please, Alendo. So another update for on the scripting side. Earlier, whenever we are trying to upload suite script 2.1, it NetSuite will not allowing us to upload it because of some verifier. It was throwing an error, and you can see a snapshot attached here. Whenever we were trying to upload a suite script 2.1 client script, it was throwing an error. So we need to do some workaround via uploading a script directly into the file cabinet and then creating client script record. But now this verifier is no more, and you can directly upload your client scripts 2.1 into NetSuite. But you need to, there is some consideration. You need to make sure about your client or a user which type of browser they were using. As client script 2.1, we are going to use ES6 plus syntax of JavaScript, or you can say it Emac. So you need to make sure, because most of the browser support this syntax, but some of the browser it might be possible they are not supporting it. So you need to always have some consideration in your mind whether you are wanted to do your customization, browser based customization with suite script 2.1 or not. Next slide, Alejandro. Okay, so we have a new feature provided by NetSuite in this release, and there are lots of many new feature, but I have selected these two new feature here. And this is copying a file from a file cabinet, one folder to another folder, and checking a custom password. In few of scenario where we have a password functionality, we need to store some kind of password. So we are doing masking, or we are doing encrypting with some algorithm and saving those encrypted algorithm and password in another field to check the password. And whenever someone is entering the password, what we are doing, we were decoding those password with the help of the same algorithm. But that type of work we will not going to do anymore, because we have a new capability or new function or object provided by NetSuite. So copying a file, earlier what we were doing, we are getting the current file context or body or data, and then creating a new file with the help of NLAPI create new file, or with the help of in a suite script 2.0 with file module. But now we have direct function and object, so we can utilize to copy file in file cabinet, and we can use it with the help of file.copy function we have in 2.0, and it have a capability for conflict management or conflict resolution. You can mention whether you wanted to override the same file or you wanted to rename it. If you are copying a file into a same folder, if you are copying the file in another folder, it doesn't matter. And the other thing, important thing I found in this release is the check password capability. So it is going to be a lot easier for developer to use a direct NLAPI check password or a crypto module function check password to directly check the password entered by the user. Earlier, as I told you, we were using some encryption and decryption, and then we are comparing, and sometime what we did in the past, we used just a text field, a free-form text field, and we were masking the password so that we cannot show to other user like sales rep or other. But now you can directly use password field and compare the password with the help of these two APIs. And yep, next slide, Alejandro. Okay, so there is couple of security enhancement and changes or notice is provided by NetSuite now. So first is that you cannot use RESTlet with NL auth or a credential based RESTlet from 1st of January 2021. So NetSuite informed us that they are not going to entertain all those RESTlet which are created after 1st of January 2021 with credential base. So those RESTlet are going to be throw you an error code. If you have created any RESTlet after 2021 with credential based or NLauth, I would suggest you guys to change it to more reliable uh, authentication like token based authentication or OAuth2. And this changes is not going to be impact the previous development what you guys have in your account before 1st of January 2021. And if you are adding your previous RESTlet, it is not going to impact you. But I would personally suggest you guys, if you have any RESTlet which is using credential based or NLauth uh, authentication, please change those RESTlet or convert those RESTlet to more reliable authentication like TBA and OAuth2. And there is another notice mentioned in this release preview is NetSuite is not going to entertain these two algorithms, which are MD5 and SHA1. They are going to completely remove these two hashing algorithms. So if you have your account and you have any script which is written back 3 or 4 year back and they were used MD5 and SHA1, so please update your script, because in my initial day when I started my career with NetSuite, we were using frequently this algorithm for hashing, as I told you, for password encryption. So if you have any old script and you don't aware that that script is having a MD5 or SHA1, please make sure those scripts don't have these algorithm and remove it with other algorithm like SHA, HMAC. So you can use other as well. So there were a couple of affected APIs for these like NLOBG credential builder, crypto hash log, and HTTPS hash log. So please make sure you can remove all these algorithm from your scripts. Next slide, Alejandro. Secret management. So secret management is going to be handy for both administrator as well as developer. Now you don't require to create any custom record to store your custom password or any password related to your integration. And if you are creating some kind of external suitlet where you are allowing your users customer to enter password and then compare it with your custom password, you can directly use this secret management, which is I'm liking very much this tool because it have capability to share the password in multiple areas. Like you can share the password in the script, you can share the password in bundles or suite apps. You can restrict those password for certain uh, environment or employees. So we are going to see in our demo in the last that where this tool is and how we can utilize this tool. So, and you need to make sure that you will always use this for your password management or a secret management. And you can also utilize this secret management in while you are doing some SDF work. If you are using Eclipse, WebStorm, or command line interface with Java or Node.js for development of suite apps or a general customization, you can also include this secret management using a XML file reference, so that your customization will directly create this secret management object or record in NetSuite. You don't require to go in the user interface to create it. And it have a really good capability for audit trail as well. And we will see it after end of all these slides. I'll end to next slide, please. REST web services. As you guys know, earlier we were using soap based service, and from 2020 we have REST web services which were on the beta phase. And always I prefer, and so many people prefer REST services over soap based web services because they are easy to develop, easy to manage. And now NetSuite is moving much way faster on REST web services development side. So earlier we have so many beta endpoints, but now we have all or most of the general use APIs or endpoint to use in our integration, or in if you are doing some development inside NetSuite only. So you can enable this REST services from enable feature in Suite Cloud section. And we can now have some endpoint like general availability records, which are customer, sales order, purchase order, invoice. So these are the most frequent used record in your integration. So you can now start integrating NetSuite with REST web services. And uh, in upcoming release, maybe we are going to much more availability of records with REST web services. And soon we will maybe transit from SOAP based web service to REST web service. And REST service is also providing so many benefits over SOAP. I have mentioned 2 points over here. First is field selection and enumerator field values. So for field selection, if you wanted to get only certain field value for a particular record, you don't require to get the whole record, which will increase the performance and timing as well. So you can directly mention you want this particular field for a particular record, and you will get it. And the another benefit for REST web service now we have is enumerator field. And this is kind of a problem in NetSuite development as well, because sometime if we wanted to set uh, transactions status, we need to go to support to check what type of status they have, because they don't have directly internal IDs like 1, 2, 3 for the pending fulfillment, approved, or cancel. They have sales order A, sales order B, sales order C. So that is another benefit REST web service is providing you. If you in your integration you wanted to check what is the current status of your sales order in SOAP based service, it is going to give you a value B. But now in REST service, you can see whether that B belongs to which actual status, whether it is pending fulfillment, partially fulfilled, or cancel or approved. So you can mention whether you want a simple format. If that simple format parameter is going to be true, you are going to get a value as a B. But if the simple format is false, you are going to get a value as a B and text as a pending fulfillment. So you can directly utilize the pending fulfillment in your integration. Alando, next slide. SOAP web services and RESTlet and CSV import, we don't have that much update on these things, but there are a couple of newly exposed objects we have for RESTlet. Like for suite billing, it's really challenging for us because we have a limited records which are scriptable for suite billing side. So now we have a subscription term which we can do a scripting on those record, but earlier we cannot. So there are a couple of record like sales channel, channel reservation, imported employee. For CSV import, now we can import planning item category, supply plan definition, planning rule. And for SOAP based web services, another consideration, if your integration tool or third party tool or any vendor which you are using, and if they are using SOAP web service 2014.1, this endpoint is now retired, so you should make sure you are now moving to another a new version, maybe 2018 or 2019, or if you wanted to use 2021, it is there. So you can use, so it's a spelling mistake. You can use now 21.1 endpoint as well. I'll end on next slide. I think we are done with the slide.
Yeah, so we're going to, we had planned to do a live demo of some of these features, but we have about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
We'll schedule a full session for this suite club. There's a lot there that the vendor went over that is pretty useful. What I'd like to do right now is gonna talk about some of the additional things we have, and then again, I'll promise Tapendra right now that we'll schedule something to go over the suite cloud in more detail in a full session.
Definitely, Alejandro. And if you guys have any question related to my slides or any new feature, you can directly meet me. I will try to respond you as soon as possible.